Express Sports Beat. I'm your host, Brett Butler.
And I'm your host, Jeffrey Shirk. And as usual, we're coming to you live from the Changing Times Ale House in East Northport, Long Island, home of the world-famous Wings. Just a little recap of Week 8. Oh, a terrible week, I would say. My boy Brett over here, he went 4-9 against the spread, and after I gave him kudos, it was almost like giving him the kibosh, because oh my God, 4-9. What can I say? I only went 7-6 because I'll tell you something. New Orleans won first 8 games, went 6-2. But a little recap of last week: Warner and the Cardinals, interceptions, 5 interceptions and a fumble, 6. They lose to Carolina. What an upset! Carolina was underdog by 9.5. Sloppy game in New Orleans and Atlanta. 7 turnovers. New Orleans won, but didn't cover by a last 42-second field goal. Cleveland 1-7, and they fired the GM. Could you believe this? I mean, when is Manginius going to be gone already? I mean, you know, Cleveland, what are they going to start firing the bellhops on the field and stuff? Oh my God, St. Louis finally gets a win. So what? It's against Detroit. Minnesota, great game for Favre at Green Bay. I said I had that covered. And the Jets, 1-4 since a 3-0 start. So unbelievable, unbelievable. So we're going to go right into Week 9 right here, folks. First game of week 9 is Washington 2-5 at Atlanta 4-3. Washington's getting 10. How do you like this game, Brett?
I like Atlanta in this game. They're undefeated at home. You know, Washington's only beat St. Louis and Tampa Bay, and only by a combination of 5 points total.
Please, come on. I love Atlanta in this game also. I like them to come back after Monday night. Washington, where are they going? They're going nowhere off the bye. Atlanta's pretty pissed about losing to the Saints, and you know, no mercy in this one. Later points, Atlanta, baby, at home, 3-0 against the spread at home. Arizona, 4-3 at Chicago, 4-3. Arizona's getting +3. Hey, after Warner's collapse, 6 turnovers from Warner, bounce back game. I like Arizona against Chicago in this game. I'll tell you something. I like it.
Yeah, I'll definitely take that. I think he's definitely going to protect the football. He needs to actually win. They dropped from first in rushing defense last week to 9th in 1 game.
Well, only thing I'm worried about is which color's going to show up and which Arizona's going to show up. You know, it's like mediocre right now, 4-3 both teams. Hey, one team can go either way. You know, they can go either way. So
Chicago also had a bunch of weak wins. The only game that was impressive was the game over Pittsburgh.
Right. So we both like Arizona in that game. Baltimore 4-3 at Cincinnati, 5-2. Cincinnati's getting +3. I like Cincinnati in this game also. And in fact, Cincinnati over Baltimore since 2005 is 6-3. Okay, that says a lot right there. I like Palmer over Flacco.
Really? I like Flacco. I think they need some redemption from Week 5 when they came back, the comeback win. Can't come back, you know, forever during the whole season. So I'm going to take Baltimore.
Ooh, Baltimore. Okay, I like Cincinnati. Houston 5-3 at Indianapolis 7-0. Houston is +9 in this game. We do like, right?
I'm going to take Indianapolis again. I know they screwed me last week, but
screwed me too.
I think Houston's got 2 tight ends, starting tight ends that they rely on a lot, not just for the checkdowns, but for pass protection as well. And they're out this week. They have a couple rookies starting.
I'll tell you something. I like Houston with the points. 9 points. Indianapolis is 3-0. 1-2 against the spread at home. Come on, they didn't cover against Jacksonville. They didn't cover against San Francisco. Houston's offense, hey, Indianapolis has a couple of games. I think that Indianapolis will win, but I don't think they'll cover the spread.
They have allowed the fewest points out of all teams in the NFL, Indianapolis defense.
You know? So, you like Indy? I like Houston. Miami, 3-4 at New England, 5-2. Miami's getting 10.5 points. What do you like in this one, Brett?
I gotta take New England. Yes. Miami only had 9 points on offense last week. It wasn't for those 2 kick returns and fumble returns.
That's right. Miami's Wildcat was totally shut down. I like New England also. I mean, and off a bye, come on, Tom Brady's ready, rested.
Tom Brady's perfect. Well, the whole team perfect at home.
So. Oh yeah. You know, New England there's no disagreement there. New England both. Green Bay 4-3 at Tampa Bay, 0-7. Tampa Bay's getting 9.5 points. I like Green Bay in this game.
I'm going to take Green Bay as well. Tampa Bay's doing nothing all year. They did have that little mini comeback, last week against Minnesota. Didn't pay off in the end, but it shows,
bounce back game for Green Bay. Green Bay showed they can score points when they need the points, but unfortunately Minnesota built us a big lead. Not enough to come back.
And also, Tampa Bay has their
third
starting quarterback.
And Josh Freeman is starting, and he's already talking about swagger. Win a game before you can start swaggering there, Josh. Kansas City 1-6 at Jacksonville 3-4. Kansas City's getting 6.5. What do you like in this game?
I like Jacksonville. Kansas City has 92 plays for negative yards on offense this year. And, Maurice Jones-Drew had only 8 carries last week for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. So
oh my God. That's right, but they still lost to Tennessee. But I like Jacksonville in this game. They looked awful against Tennessee. But hey, Jacksonville's one of those teams. One week they are great, one week this thing, you know. And also Kansas City also suspended Larry Johnson. I mean, he's probably gone for the season. Look for him in another uniform next year. I'll like Jacksonville. Carolina, 3-4 at New Orleans, 7-0. Carolina's getting 13 in this game. I like New Orleans in this game.
I'll take Carolina in this. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think New Orleans has shown some vulnerability the last couple of weeks. In their first 4 games, they allowed 66 points. In their last 3 games, they've allowed 88. And I think Carolina, the smallest margin that they lost this year, is only 11 points.
Well, I'll tell you something. You got the #1 rated offense versus the #7 defense in Carolina. I still like New Orleans at home. I think a little speed bump against Atlanta didn't cover it. They're not going to have the turnovers this week against Carolina. You like Carolina with the points. I like New Orleans. Detroit, 1-6 at Seattle, 2-5. Detroit's getting 10. Another game of who cares here. But I'll tell you something right now. I like Seattle in this game at home. They're good. They're great at home against terrible teams. They blew out Jacksonville. They blew out the Rams. Detroit's another bad team. Hey, I like Seattle at home.
Yeah, I'll take Seattle. They had both those games were shutouts at home against Jacksonville, St. Louis. Detroit's another team that they could definitely shut out. Jim Moore pulled out the team this week, after the game last week.
Tennessee, 1-6 at San Francisco, 3-4. Tennessee's getting 3.5. What do you like in this game, bro?
I'm going to take San Francisco on this. This game might feature the 2 best running backs in the whole NFL, Gore and Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson with 228 yards rushing last week, 2 TDs.
I like San Francisco also. San Francisco is 5-1-1 against the spread. They're 3-4 otherwise. Hey, I like San Francisco. Later 3.5. Tennessee against Jacksonville. I think that was bum luck. Let's go, San Francisco. San Diego, 4-3 at the Giants, 5-3. San Diego's getting 5.5. Who do you like in this one, Brett?
I'll take the Giants in this one. I look for them to bounce back after a 3-game losing streak. They are a better team in that if they run the ball and keep their passes safe.
I'll tell you something, Brett. This game I had a lot of problems with. I originally liked the Giants in this game. I'm going with San Diego, and I'll tell you why. Eli Manning does not look himself in the last 3 games. He's definitely not playing like a guy who doesn't have some kind of injury. He's definitely that one. Something is bothering him. He's playing, but he's not playing to his potential in these games. And I'm sorry, but I think San Diego will keep it close. If the Giants do win, they're not going to cover this game. Phillip Rivers gets the time. He's going to pick the Giants secondary apart. I like San Diego, 5.5 points. You like the Giants. Sunday night, you got Dallas, 5-2 at Philadelphia, 5-2. Dallas is getting +3. What do you like in this one?
I'm going to take Philadelphia on this one. Both teams play pretty much the same teams in their wins this year, and with a combined 10 wins against the 5 teams that they won against.
Right.
10 wins combined against them. But I think Philly definitely has the edge in Philadelphia. Run the ball, pass the ball. They got a good team. Dallas, I think, is, like you said, a couple times better on paper.
I like Philly also at home. I like Philly destroyed the Giants last week. Dallas had a nice game, but they beat Seattle, so what? Philly in the shootout at home always plays well against Dallas. Look it up. Monday night, Pittsburgh 5-2 at Denver 6-1. Denver's getting +3. I like Denver at home in this game. Sorry. I look for them to bounce back against Baltimore. Had they won against Baltimore, it would have been 7-0. It might have been a trap game, but I like Denver at home getting the points.
I'm going to go with Pittsburgh on this. If I could choose a push, I'll pick this game to be the push. But I got to go with Pittsburgh on this. I think Roethlisberger and the Steelers are coming back from their little slow start this year. They are the defending champs until proven.
Okay, Pittsburgh's 0-3 against the spread on the road. Denver's 3-0 against the spread at home, so let's see what happens. So there you have it, folks. It's week 9 of the NFL. I'm your host, Jeffrey Sher.
And I'm Brett Butler.
And we're, as usual, coming to you straight from the Changing Times Ale House in East Northport, Long Island, home of the fantastic Wings, man. And go Yankees tonight. Hopefully they'll win, and we'll see you next week. Take care.